live, and hopefully we're on Facebook. I'll give it a second, guys, for people to come on. I'm looking at the Facebook comments and Chris is looking at the Instagram comments. We'll give it a couple of minutes for people to come on and then we'll get started. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I hope your lockdown is not too bad.
Toby.
There we are. Oh, 4 of you guys on there already. 10 of you. Hello. Lovely to see you all today. Let me see if I can work out who is on here. Robert Parks, Philip Parsons, and 4 others are watching. So give me a comment. Say hello in the comments if you're on Instagram or on Facebook before we get started. I've got some cool stuff to show you today. I'm going to show you how to save lots of money on the dreaded rust repairs.
Toby, just check the connection on this.
Hold on, just going to check the mics. Can you guys hear me? Write down if you can just put in the comments if you can hear me clearly. I don't know what Instagram's going to be like because the mics are feeding to Facebook. Hey Rob, how you doing, mate? Alexi, lovely to see you. Virtual hug, one-handed though. And you can hear me. Brilliant. Alright, I'll give it a second, you guys. Are you all locked down and stuck in quarantine and rubbish? It's a bit miserable, isn't it, at the moment? It's all a bit quiet and a bit locked down. It's funny here, tripping over. It's funny here on site because it's just weird to not have people here. We've still got loads of cars going in and out, but it's not got the same feel about the place, so hopefully it won't be too long. But it is busy actually. There's lots of cars here, lots of Figaros in the yard here, just waiting to be done, lined up, all waiting to be repaired. There's some cool ones I'm going to show you today. I've just put this ramp down while we're waiting, so I can show you. I'm going to show you two different fixes today. They really are bits we've developed over the years that have really helped us to prevent Figaros from rusting after they've been restored. It makes a massive difference. So I'll start with one of the straightforward ones and then go to one that's a little bit more complicated, but it is one that you guys could definitely do from home. Cool. Hello everybody, lovely to see you. Do we get any comments on the Instagram one? Does it? Can we see that people are on there?
Yeah, we got 13 to 12 people.
Cool. Lovely to see you, Instagram. We don't really do as much Instagram. Can they comment live? Can they hear us on Instagram?
Yeah, they can hear us. Yeah,
wow, cool. Right, come on, you two cameramen. Got 2 cameramen today that will definitely stay 2 meters away, but we'll try and get some good shots. Oh, and if you've got any questions on the way through, just comment. Lynette, yes, we can hear you, but it sounds a bit windy. Might be my jacket. Dolly, lovely to see you. Guys, post any comments that you've got on the way through. Right, now the first one of these fixes is inspired by Tom Brake. I don't know if Tom Brake is on here, because he texted me this week asking me a question. And the question was specifically about water that gets in the front of the car, and it's such a classic fix that people get this problem where the front footwell fills up with water. So literally the floor mats are soggy and the whole front's full of water, and what happens is that obviously people assume that it's just going in straight through the roof, and so they spend ages trying to fix the windows and stuff like that. But what we found is that literally 99 times out of 100 it comes in over the back. Do you two want to stand around that side and look across, and I'll just demonstrate what happens. So basically, and some of you might have seen this before because I've demonstrated it a few times, is that the water is designed in these cars to run all the way round these rubbers, and so I've got some water here, and what happens is that it pours down the back, and instead of running around here, which this one's actually not working too badly, as it gets a bit heavier it just starts to run over the edge. You see that little drip there? Can you see that? It literally runs in and it drips down there, runs under the back seat, and puddles in the front footwell, and it is so common. It literally happens on all of them, and there's a really quick, easy fix for this. So all I'm using is a little, whatever this is, a razor blade or a Stanley blade or something like that. And then if you look, can you see on here, if I point, I won't come too close to you guys, but you see on this side, on here, so the idea is that the water runs round and down here, and it also runs through here and out. But what happens is these gullies can't cope with the amount of water, and so it runs down over there. So what we do is take the little blade, hopefully you can see, if you've got one gully here on the outside, are you too close enough? Can they see it? Can you stand by the boot? And then one gully that's there, what we do is just trim a tiny little piece out of here. I'll show you the piece when I've cut it out. Hopefully you can see this. Just takes a second, and when your hands are cold, you need to be a bit careful if you're using a new scalpel blade. But can you see there, I've just cut just the tiniest little, I'll stand back so you can film it, the tiniest little trench out of that. And then what will happen is as you pour, as the water goes down, instead of overflowing in this first little gully, see it channels back through there and runs down. And that is like a 2-minute fix that literally will save you forever taking your carpets out, messing around, doing all that type of stuff. And that is the most common. We would just do that on every car. Now, you need to do it on both sides, obviously. And then you've also got the classic fix of making sure that these pipes here, where my finger is, are clear. So you want to tip water through those and make sure you see that coming out the boot. Do you want to go back around that side and I'll just show you the way to do that. So it would literally be a case of, you want to see water go in there, and then exactly like that, you want to see it run out the floor onto the back. You need to make sure it actually runs out, because otherwise what's happening is that water is typically going into the boot. So the way the Figaro is designed is all over it. It's got these different little slightly odd ways of making the water run out, which typically work by rubber pipes. So you see like this rubber pipe here, you guys can see in there, because it will be the same as the one on the roof we'll look at in a minute. You've got rubber pipes, one here and one here, and the idea of those is that they channel water out the floor. And at the back it doesn't work too bad. And again, you can just check the one in the boot here. So you can see this is a great example. On this car it's blocked up. So what would happen if this was left parked outside, that corner, you can use anything, a bit of wire, anything like that, and just plunger it out with your hands. But the specific fix that I wanted to show you about today, because this one really does save money, is a flaw in the design of the way that these cars were put together. So the other place that you get water drained through, if you guys come up here, is through here. And these are designed, the whole car is designed that these gullies and everything should get wet. And you've got these two rubber grommets, one on this side, one on this side, and they've also got rubber pipes on them. And that rubber pipe runs down here, down the inside of the pillar, and then goes down into the sill. And the idea is that that then drains down into the floor and then outside. But what happens is it just fills the sill up. It really is a design error, and it rusts the sill. And by the time you rust the inner sill, the outer sill, bits of the floor, it can literally cost thousands. And there's nothing wrong. That's the way it's designed. If I tip it down there, it will just run into the sill. It's a bit of an oddity. And what we found is that there's a way that you can fix that, and you can channel the water to run out onto the floor. So you're going to have to bear with me on this because it's a bit complicated to explain, but it is something you should be able to do from home. So the first thing you need to do is strip out the panel from the inside. Now I'll let me think about the best way to do this. So if you guys want to go on that side, and I'll try and get in a bit through here, hopefully I can at least point it out. So I've taken it out already. So this panel here fits in just behind the fuse box in there. It's got 3 screws on it that hold the fuse box in, and you just take that panel completely out of place. It will take 2 minutes to get out. So the water pipe is running down the back of here, all the way down the post, and then it's in behind here. And if I put my hand in, you actually won't be able to see it, but you can feel the rubber pipe. Or can I actually pull it right out? So if you see, look, that's the pipe there. If you guys can see that, I've just pulled it out. So that is typically just literally going down into this box section, into there, and all of that water that's running out of there is just filling up the body of the car. Now, once you've got that panel off, come around this side, and you've got that clear, you've got it in your hand, you need to redirect it to a different part of the car. Just going to lift this up a bit so you guys can see. So I've done a bit of, one of my colleagues did a bit of stripping out before we started. I'm just going to grab the phone so I can see if there's comments. Sorry, I'm trying to do this and the comments. Ask any comments at any point, guys. Well, there's 60 of you here today. Lovely to see you all. How nice. How nice indeed. Okay, so then what we've done here, I'll just turn the volume down on this bit, is we've stripped out this wheel arch liner. So if you look on the other side of the car, it's got the wheel on, you've got the wheel arch liner, fits all the way around like this. Typically they're hanging off a bit, and you've just got these screws, 2 10mm headed bolts, and then you just take those out all the way around. So you don't need to take it all off. We've just taken the first part of it off on this side. You could do this on the drive. You could do it, but you would struggle a little bit if you did it without the wheel on. Sorry, if you did it with the wheel on, but you could turn it round. But if it was me and I was doing it at home, if one of you guys want to do this, if in this wet weather your car's getting soaked, then just take the wheel off and try and jack it up and use an axle stand or something. Anyway, so the wheel arch liner, take it out of the way. You don't need to take it all off. I've taken quite a bit off so you guys can see. Then, just about here, where my finger is now, you just literally drill a hole in there, and then when we do it, I don't know if I've got one to hand, but we just put a little rubber grommet in it. You could buy one. This isn't the exact one, but this is the same type of thing. So you can buy these little rubber grommets in motoring centres, motorist centres or whatever, wherever, somewhere online, or give us a ring and we can supply you with one. But it is as simple as drilling a hole in there, the same diameter as the pipe, and then feeding the pipe out through there. So you put your hand in through the back, feed the pipe out through there, leave it hanging in the back there, this is just mud, and then it will run down and run out of the back under there, instead of filling up this box section. Now, this car is a perfect example of one of the ways that the design fault causes problems, because if you just have a look at the seals on this car and look how rusted they are, part of the reason for that is just because they've been filling up with water for years. And it literally, these type of little hacks literally can save you guys thousands, because especially this time of year, the car's just filling up with water on the inside and the seals just can't take it. They haven't really got a proper, they haven't really got a good enough coating on the inside, and especially now they're a bit old, they're just starting to fail. So I don't know if you guys have got any questions about that. I've got some other bits to show you as well. Let me just see if I can see the comments. Nifa, good afternoon. Matt Davies, hiya. I'll just bring this back down again. I'll show you some bits while we're on, but feel free to add any comments about that, guys. I don't know if it makes sense to you, if you can see how to do it, if it's something you think you can do at home. It is something, obviously, you can come in and it's something we can do for you, but I thought while we're in lockdown would be a perfect time for you guys to be able to do a fix like that. The other thing that's worth checking as well, if you do, when we talked about the ones at the back, let's see if I can get this boot open. Show you here as well how these work. So the ones that are in the back, the two that I showed you here, that channel down and out the floor, this one here is obviously working okay, but also these rubbers at the back you can get to by just putting your hand in here and you can feel them. If you put your hand in, you can see my hand comes right out the top here into the boot, so you can feel these ones all the way around. And then again, just make sure those are coming out the floor as well. But those are really the main drains. You've got the two in the roof, two here, or one on each side obviously, one in the bottom of the boot, and it is a wet boot, so expect it to be damp in there, but it shouldn't be soaked, and it definitely shouldn't be filling up because it should be draining. And then the one that's at the front, obviously doing that as well, and this little hack here. But they're the main bits we would look at. Typically you'll expect it's bits like the glass and the soft top, but it's often not really those bits at all. So if you've got any other comments on that, oh yeah, you have. Oh cool, sorry I didn't see all these comments. That corrosion would be picked up at the annual MOT. Yeah, it definitely would be. I believe it's probably being done on this car. Murray said they just had the seals done and they should be waxed off. That's a really good point, Murray. Yeah, so those holes that we actually drill when we put the pipe through in the front, we also drill those back here as well. I don't know if you guys just want to look at the back corner. So that back corner, we will drill a hole in. Ouch. We will. Sorry, walked into a gearbox. We will drill a hole in that place as well, and then we will just inject that with wax. And instead of using a grommet that's got an open end to it, we will use a completely sealed grommet. So yeah, you definitely should do that, Murray. Christopher, sounds good and straightforward. Cool, send us some pictures if you do it. Do we need to make a hole also under to empty the water out? No, that one hole will do, because it will just hit the back of the plastic then and come out, instead of hitting in the box section and filling that up. Is it just on the driver's side? No, everything I've showed you is for both sides. So there's two sides for the holes at the top, two sides for those, two sides for those bits as well. Jackie, hi Jackie, do you routinely sort this drainage on your cars for sale? Yes, and we do it on ones we repair. Rob, thanks for letting them know it's both sides. Chris Mountford, assume that there is nothing behind the wheel arch lining. No, you should be okay there, drilling into the back of that. Toby, if the drain was working, would it drain out the bottom of the car and go into the... Yeah, it'll probably go into the sills, and originally there is some tiny little gaps in the sill, but what happens there is they just fill up with mud and don't really work. Carter says, my car has a light mounted in the wet boot that does not work. So that's an original feature if it's the one that sits here on the boot, Carter. And the wiring is connected to the little mushroom thing. Or, sorry, you two come around this side. So the wiring for those lights, or if you can see it, is connected to that. So this should switch it on. Derek, can we tell you what size drill to use? No, if any of my guys are watching this, can you just confirm? I think it looks like it's about 12 mil. Do you know, Chris? No. It's about 14, is it? It depends as well, Derek, what size grommet you get. You'd have to get a grommet. But it's easy to measure that pipe because you can get to it just here in the upper boot. Carter says, why is there a light in there? I don't know, it's just one of the mods that they do. Donna, is it possible to do it without removing the wheel? Yeah, I think you could. Typically we do them on the ramp. What do you think, Chris? I'm just talking to our cameraman, Chris, because they'll get it, won't they, just about with the wheel turned? I think you just get it. Depends what size, what type of drill you got. If you've got a small drill, you'd probably get it. Right, guys, while we are waiting, I'll wait to see if any more comments. Let me show you this car because I just love it because pink's my favourite colour, and we're just finishing it off, just doing some last snagging bits. And when I knew we were doing this today, we lost sound.
I think so.
But we lost sound, Facebook. Are you still there? Have I disconnected it somehow? I can see the questions. I'll come back with the answers to that in a minute. Can you still hear me, guys? Give me a thumbs up. They can still hear us. Okay, so just because pink was my favourite colour, I wanted to show you this car today because it is sick. So this is a car, and it's on Instagram. Especially people watching Instagram, follow my pink Figaro. Simone's got a really cool page, and it is an amazing car. We'll do some more bits of it, but you guys go in that side and I'll go from the other side because there is some really nice features. So this is a car that it's not quite finished, it's nearly finished, that we've redone in this stunning pink colour. So we completely stripped it, refinished it. We've got all the new seats, the new armrests. I mean, the armrests and the door panels in pink leather are always one of my favourite. I can't touch them now because my hands are dirty, but they just look so slick and smooth. And this one particularly has had all these new carpets put in it, so it's got these hand stitched floor mats that are made in ivory with the pink leather. So if we swap sides again, you two, just look at the detail on that floor mat where it's got all the plaques and stuff. So all of the foot plate and everything like that is all handmade. These seats are heated as well, so you've got the buttons in the middle. And look at the detail on that steering wheel as well. Got the sun visors. I mean, this is so cool. I just love it. The pink against the chrome. All the bodywork's been redone. All the chrome on it. I always think the pink cars to me look like ice cream. They look like good enough to eat. But yeah, got one of our parking sticks on the front. Check out the parking stick. So yeah, it's all good. We've just got some finishing bits to do. So we're literally just putting a few clips back in it, some bits of cleaning. You can't beat a pink Figaro, can you? It just looks so cool. In fact, look, there's another one there behind us. And that reminds me, if you guys do want work done at the moment, we'll come out, collect it hands-free on the truck, bring it back, do whatever it is you need doing, do the drain holes, or to ask us and we'll tell you how to do the drain holes, any of that stuff. But yeah, we're still here. Lots of these cars are coming in after winterization, so they've been sat for a while over winter. Maybe it's just for their MOT stuff, or maybe they're coming in and they need a restoration like this one, which is really cool. Let's just go back to some of these questions, and then I've got some other bits to show you guys as well. do the drains like the tube not come out of the bottom? No, they don't come out of the bottom, they just go inside, Dolly, and drain inside. You guys telling me you can hear me, which is great. Simon's with the option light so you can see the top boot to put the roof down. Thanks, Simon. How do I remove the side panel off the side of the seat? Christopher, do you mean the panel that I showed that I removed there that I demonstrated, or do you mean the one that's actually on the seat? Okay, I'll wait for your comment to come back. But you might be able to see a bit better if you two look in on this car. It's a bit of an easier view. Yeah, actually. But it's this panel here. Obviously we're on the ramp in there and you can't really see, but you literally just got 3 screws and a popper. So you've got a popper at the bottom, 1 screw there, and like the fuse box will come forward but it will still be joined on with the wires, and then you've got 1 screw at the top and then it just wiggles out. It really is pretty simple to get off. It's more fiddly because that one's on the ramp. Carter says, our mistake I made when deep cleaning. I'm starting to shake, it's that cold. One mistake I made when deep cleaning my Figaro was that I scrubbed the glove box with diluted soda crystals too hard and took the paint off. Can you ship the dashboard paint to the US? Also, do you have touch-up paint in the emerald green? I'm not sure about the paints to the US because they're a bit funny about...
Touch-up yes, spray paint no.
My cameraman, who also doubles as a parts man and website man, says...
Spray paint no.
Spray paint no, because it's an
yes.
aerosol. Touch-up paint yes. Patrick, thinking about taking all the... Lovely to see you, mate, by the way. Hello. Olivier, hello. The pink colour suits you. I know, I love the pink. Funny enough, Olivier, I've been meaning to dye my hair pink. Hi Patrick, thinking about taking out all the interior soundproofing. What were your thoughts? Patrick, so what we've done before, don't think we've done it on this one, but we've re-sound deadened it. So we strip everything out on the inside and then we use like Dino Mat or whatever one we can buy, and then we cover all the inside with that, and it does make it sound a bit better. When we put these carpets in, so I showed you these mats, but if you look closely, again I'll go the other side, keep the social distance, but these ones are actually, this is like in here we've got the mats, and then underneath we've got the carpets, and under that we've got sound deadening, and it does make a difference. Definitely as well, if you take the doors off and the back, if you put sound deadening in the backs of the doors as well, you get a bit of a nicer shot on the doors instead of that typical Figaro like tinny jangle you get when you open the doors. But yeah, it's worth doing, mate, definitely. Sorry, just going on this, Dolly. So I was checking with the drains and water. Dolly, I put water down the drains to test last summer. Does that mean the water test is now sitting in the sills? Dolly, it will, when you've put stuff in there and tested it through the roof, it will run out slowly. But if the car's just sat around, it will over time get water in there. I mean, it is a design flaw, so it is worth doing. But you won't get as much in through that top, the ones in the top of the roof, as you do through the ones in the boot. Pat says thanks. Martin is hello, lovely to see you, mate. Can you put a dash cam in a Figaro? We put reversing cams in and a dash cam, and then we put some, what did we put in the mirrors on the other one?
We put a 360 camera.
Oh yeah, we put a 360 camera in the mirrors. So yeah, Angela, give us a shout if you wanted us to put some in. I think if you drop us a message or here, or leave something in the comments, we can send you some pictures of the ones we did. Guys, I'll show you as well while we're on some of the products we've developed, because we are still, you wouldn't believe how busy we are trying to develop products and get stuff done even during lockdown. It's funny at the moment because I said it's quiet on site, but in this third third lockdown, point 3 or whatever it gets referred to as. We've tightened everything up on our site, so now not only is it that people can't come in or can only come into the offices to drop stuff off, we either pick them on the truck or people just drop off hands free at the front of the building. Our buildings, we've got 4 buildings, and so now we haven't got any interactions between the 4 buildings, so everything's completely completely locked down. So it's but we are still busy, just in little bubbles of busyness. So anyway, come and have a look. These are some of our products that we've developed. So this is the Decal Set. Now this is really cool. Comes in a Figaro box with translated instructions. So these are basically the original little plaques that go on the boot, reproductions of, one on the bonnet and one on the side of the car. So we've made ones of these now. They don't look very impressive in the packet, but I assure you they look great on the car, that stick on there. And then we've also got these, which we've had reproduced. We spent ages trying to get the right material. Now I don't know if you guys are familiar with these, but these sit on the side of the car here, so they're really cool. So we've just had these done recently. The reason they're complicated is because they have to have this chrome look. And they say, Tokyo Nouvelle Vogue 1991, the Figaro enables us to experience the real essence of elegance and sophistication. It is ideal for the person who enjoys savouring life one day at a time. Yes, savouring life. So yeah, we've just done those. They're quite cool. This is a really cool mod. This is actually really cool, because one of the things about Figaros is the headlights aren't the best in the world. I think these are they're on our website. I was going to tell you the cost, but I can't remember. So this is an an upgrade kit for the headlights. So basically you put those in and it just makes the headlights super bright. So they're really cool. We spent ages making sure that that kit fits and works really well. Master cylinders. I was going to open the bonnet, but I was going to say I won't because the thing's off. I'll open the bonnet on this car. So master cylinders, these are notorious for leaking and often don't get picked up on the MOT because they're not very easy to see. So this is the master cylinder here, and if you want to check it on your car, what you really want to do is look right underneath it there to see if it's all rusty on the servo, and if all of this is starting to leak and get a bit of fluid. So we do these. They're new, they're reconditioned ones, so we're really pleased with that, because you used to be able to get them from Nissan, and so you can't, or the price is really high, so that's why we do those. And then these last bits are really cool. So we already did the rocker covers, refurbished those, and I love this. There's nothing better than an engine bay that looks super shiny with a polished cover on it. That looks cool, doesn't it? But what we've just reproduced are these tiny little covers, and you might want a whole rocker cover, or you might just want this piece. Small but very pretty, like a Figaro. And they just go in there. Yours might be missing or cracked. They're missing or cracked on loads of them. It just gives the detail of the engine. It's just one of those nice, pretty little pieces. And then finally, we've got full instructions with these, the boot struts. So we've reproduced these with all the correct little brackets and bits like that on. And we're really pleased with these because we had to get all the different pieces made separately for the boot struts and get them set to the right setting. We did them before, but you had to change the brackets on the end, and now we've got them with all the brackets. So obviously the thing with the boot is that, well, you can see on this one, they're a nightmare because you park it on a slight hill and it will fall over, and that's why you get Figaros with marks all the way up the back window up there, and the clips on the straps. I was going to say this one the straps are completely missing, but we also make the straps as well now actually. But yeah, then the straps get smashed and all of those bits don't work. And grab the phone in case any more comments. Yeah, so the boot struts are really useful. Right, how are we doing? 59 of you guys on there, lovely. It's so nice to see you. Have you got any more questions? What's the story with sales to the EU countries now? So it's all fine. It's we do it and just prepay all the stuff here, so that's fine. But just ring the parts department. They're working on it. We're trying to set something up, which will take.
We don't pay everything here, so we don't charge taxes, duties in their country.
Yeah, so we don't charge any taxes here and any duties you'll have in your country. But the guys in the parts department will be able to give you details on it. And what we're trying to set up, which will take a few months to go through with the EU stuff, is so that everything gets paid at the checkout and cart, and then everything that's delivered to your door will be paid like that. But just give us a call, Leon, if you've got any questions around it, because we're still sending stuff out worldwide every day. It's been a bit of a pain with the paperwork, but it hasn't been too bad. Laura, will the rubber drain tubes from the roof have been relocated to the position you have just shown when you restored my Figaro 3 years ago? Not unless we specified that we did it, Laura, but give us a call and we will have all the records for your car and the guys will be able to check whether that was done. Do we sell the rubber Sigradeur, sorry, I hope I pronounced your name right. Do you sell the rubber seal that goes around the roof? No, we don't actually. Only as a used one. Give us a call if you haven't got one, but we don't do those now. Philip says, are we still hoping to do our shop in Texas? Yes, at some point, but at the moment it's not very easy to fly backwards and forwards. Donna says, great parts department. I got a parking stick and eyelashes, highly recommended. Ah, Donna, thank you. That's so kind of you to say. So, guys, have you got any more questions? That covers most of the stuff that I was gonna go over with you. The stuff to do with the leaks, you know the fix to do at home now to save the money, to avoid your car rusting. And do just give us a ring if you've got any questions about that or if you want it explained any further. I will be back with another live at some point. I've got lots of exciting things happening. We might be locked down, but we are flat out, not only on parts development, but we've been doing some other exciting stuff as well. So we've got that. Oh yeah, Instagram questions, cool. What do we got?
Save the video?
Yes, so we'll save this video and we'll load it on YouTube and we'll probably send it out in a newsletter as well.
Andrew arranged tonight to ask you to send a photo of the cut you made in the gully.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll find a link to that. Somewhere I made an article about it and I looked for it the other day and couldn't find it. But yeah, there's an article somewhere. I think I wrote it to the Owners Club. Yeah.
Okay, next one is, are the top coats removable?
These?
Yes. The rubber grommet in mine doesn't seem to have a hole in it. I'm worried going to pull it out and cut a hole in the bottom and attach to the tube.
Yeah, they do go a bit twisted, don't they, Chris, inside? So try it with a little bit of water first and just see what happens. The thing I would say though is what you don't want to do is pull the rubber grommet off the top and leave the pipe inside, because I know I just removed the fuse board panel to get to the bottom, but the that pipe, it goes all the way up the back of this post and there's loads to strip out to get to the whole thing. So just be a bit careful, don't rip it out from the top up there, or even when you're on the bottom, I mean you'd have a hard job, but don't pull it all the way out. You'd have to thread it back into the post, and that is a pain, but it is possible.
Right, we've got Eurojab imports.
Yeah.
How you are?
Yeah, hello. Cool, man. Thank you for asking. We hope you're good too.
take the other side off a certain technique?
Not sure.
I think that
Might have to ask that again, or post it in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll follow up. We'll keep following the comments.
How much would it cost if someone to book in to have this done? That's for the drain holes. That was.
You'd have to ring and check actually, because we normally do it when we're doing a restoration and we've got it all stripped out. But I guess it's like an hour or two's work, something like that. But just give us a call. Give us a call and we'll give you a quote. But it's not actually that major a task, as you can see.
Can you buy the felt replacements for the inside the roof strip? So that's I'm guessing the inner roof seal.
The felt one for the inside. We do a refurbished one, but we don't. They're not available new.
That's from Figaro.
I'll answer some more Facebook ones in a minute. So just while they're going on that, Kev asked about some wheels, and Simon kindly replied on that, steels or polos. Yeah, you can do. You've got a mag type wheel on there, but you can also put modified. We put wider wheels on and bigger wheels and different style wheels. But like Simon says, there's two standard ones. Leon says, any recommendations for removing the stains on the rear window surround? So if you're Leon, if you're talking about this piece, you might struggle with it. What we normally do is use like a brush, like a nail brush, or one of those ones with bristles on, and then we use like a hard surface cleaner and clean that up. And that's how we do that. Jonathan asks about the work done to fix the rust on the corner of the roof and fix the roof again. But the pipe was left to come out of the seal for some reason. Give us a call, Jonathan, if that was something we looked at, and we'll try and clarify that for you. What was the original colour of the front grille? Says Philip. So it's meant to be chrome. We've actually just started doing refurbished ones of these. So yeah, you can see they're meant to be chrome, but it's basically fallen away. So one of the projects that we've been working on for a number of years is to refinish the chrome bits. And if you look in our shop, you'll see that we do re-chrome back lights and stuff like that now. Also front grills. We're also just reproducing some of the other parts, like the hockey sticks, which again, because all of this is all plastic chromed, and that's why it gets a funny colour. Olivier, hello, lovely to see you. Are you doing the modification to the roof drain pipes so that the exit in the wheel arches instead of stills? Yes, that's correct. Murray, are there any options to put a bigger engine in a Figaro? Yeah, it's something we're working on in the background actually. I'd love to hear anybody that wants one, so we're not quite sure exactly what we're going to do. It's a big project though. Something else that would be useful, guys, if you did want to let us know, is if there's anything else that you want me to come back and do next week. So if there's a specific subject on the car, post it in the comments, and it would be good to do that. Dolly asks how to replace the hockey stick that's fallen off on the passenger side. If it's the front one, you can stick it back on. There's two little posts on the back of it, because you will struggle to get to the posts because they're probably rusted. They bolt through. And then on the back, it's just grommets. It's just pushing. Give us a shout if they're broken and you need new grommets. Instagram says,
what does a parking stick do?
Nothing. It helps you park apparently, but it looks nice. That's what it does. And it's got a little Figaro motif on the top, and it looks like pretty. No, the idea is that you look across, and then that helps you to know when the front of the car's got to the wall. But the thing is, it sits back from the front of the car anyway, so it's a bit of that. Any more comments on there, on Instagram? Right guys, oh no, we've got another one. I'll do that and then in a second I'm going to go. I'm actually shaking, it's so cold. I have an intermittent Rory, hello. Lovely to see you, thank you for coming to our live. I have an intermittent problem with the car overcharging. Any thoughts on this? When it happens the car actually slows down. It blew the headlight. Maybe to do with the alternator, I don't know. If you've checked it and seen what the charge is, but if it can overcharge, it should only be an alternator problem, because it can't up the power from anywhere else. Right guys, that is it. If anyone's got anything else, go on, one more. Keep them coming. I'm free. Keep them coming.
Could you do a guide of what to look out for in your potential second-hand purchase?
Yeah, I could do a whole live around that, around it at some point and show you what I would do when I buy a car. One of the things that I have done a lot of was buying lots of Figaros. Murray says brilliant. Nicole says thank you for the tips. Guys, thank you for coming. There's been so many of you come on today. It's lovely to see you because it's been weird. I was thinking it was nearly this time last year I started doing some of these lives in the first lockdown. So it's lovely to see you. I'll do some more of them while we're locked down because it gives us a chance to connect with you and you guys to ask any questions. And that's it really. We're freezing cold, me and my two very keen cameramen who love doing their job today. So that's it from me. Virtual hug to Instagram, virtual hug to all you guys on Facebook. That's it. See you in a few days. Peace and love guys. Bye bye.